What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Airing It Out, your favorite air conditioning and plumbing podcast. I'm Dan. You know, you've seen me before. Welcome back. But today, hot seat, we got Brendan. Brendan's one of our installers, installation team lead. So he's here to chat a little bit today. So, Brendan, why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is Brendan Moy. I moved up to Vegas, I think about 4 years ago, from Honolulu, Hawaii. Been in the industry for quite a while now. On my free time, I like to go fishing, off-roading at the lake and stuff like that. I have one kid, boy, but I also have a little girl on the way due in January.
Congratulations.
So,
you excited? Yeah?
No, I'm pretty excited.
So it's a boy, the next one's a girl, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's better than the other way around. Girl first and then a boy.
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Is your wife happy it's a girl?
Oh yeah, she's super happy.
I figured that's probably what she was hoping for. She doesn't want three dudes running around the house.
Yeah. Well, I have two brothers, so that's kind of how it was growing up.
Yeah. Just chaos. A lot of
pretty much.
A lot of dudes everywhere.
Pretty much.
All right. So you said you're from Hawaii, right?
Yep.
Before we get started, can you teach me like a cool piece of Hawaiian slang that I could use? Like I've heard you say like shoots before. I don't know what the heck that means.
I don't know. If you're talking about something with someone and you don't necessarily remember the word or something, you can just say the kind.
The kind?
Yeah.
Okay. And that just like
it's
like a placeholder.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, oh, can you grab the kind?
Okay.
People just know. It's weird. People just know exactly what you're talking about.
Really? All right.
Well,
I don't know if that's gonna work at home. I don't think. If I go try that on my wife, she'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I'll keep that in mind. All right. So let's see. So you said you've been in the industry for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you, what's your most controversial industry opinion? You got a hot take, something off the beaten path as far as an industry opinion goes.
Well, I know everyone has their own opinion, but a lot of people say that Milwaukee isn't great, but it is the greatest.
It's the best.
It's the best, man.
I'm talking about the tool brand /
yep.
radio brand / they make pencils and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, they make pens, pencils.
It's
everything.
not. You don't think it's overpriced?
Well, I mean, most professional tools, they're gonna be about in the same price range. One thing that I do think is overrated though is the Milwaukee pack outs.
That's that's like the rolling, like the luggage thing.
People are gonna hate me for saying that one, but you're paying $200 for a box on wheels.
For a box.
I mean,
you can get that at Sam's Club, right? You can get that at Costco for $20.
Cardboard box on a dolly.
Cardboard box, spray paint the logo on it, call it a day. Paint it red.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Some guys are gonna be upset.
Yeah.
But that's
for sure.
It's fair. I think it's all overrated, but that's all right. We don't have to go there. I saw a guy bought a Milwaukee level. Is it gonna level better?
It is.
It's not gonna.
It is.
It's not gonna level better. It's a bubble.
No,
it's that high quality gas in that bubble.
You gotta match your tools, man. If you got a Milwaukee drill, you gotta get the Milwaukee level. You gotta get the Milwaukee pens. It's just,
you heard it here first, guys.
It's part of
your tools have to match. As long as it's not in the pack out, you're good to go. All right, so let's see. Doing installs. So when you first got in the industry, you started doing installs, right?
Correct.
Okay, and so it's been quite a few years now you've been doing installs. Probably mostly second nature to you by now. What's the best part about being an installer?
The best part about being an installer, I would say, after we get the job completed, we get everything running. It's like an immediate, like you just feel really good, and you can see exactly what you've done, and kind of you rip it apart and you can see it from start to finish. Mm-hmm. So you can see your end product versus what used to be in the attic or in the closet, whatever.
Sure.
Or wherever it may be.
So it's kind of just getting the project done and seeing it once it's complete.
That's a really rewarding part of the job.
For sure.
Because it's not like a super simple system that anyone can just come off the street and throw it together and
Right.
to start working.
Working in tight spaces with all kinds of different. There's plumbing that's part of it. There's welding. There's all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the things that, I mean, being in those attics, like the tight spaces, like like you mentioned, it's crazy, and to just, I mean, most people don't realize it. They have no idea about what's in the attic, what it even looks like up there.
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually do the work, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't envy, because I was a service tech, right? So I spent time in attics, but I didn't spend the time that you guys are spending. I mean, I've done installs, but not day after day, 150 degrees in the attic like it is. I don't know if you guys realize how hot it is in an attic during the summer, but it's usually 20, 30 degrees hotter than the outside.
Yep. So
something like that, with no air movement.
Yeah, pretty much. Last year, I remember taking the temperature in the attic 154.
Yeah.
Which is like,
and being up there all day, tight space, doing physical work. It's hard work. It's really hard work. So I don't envy that, but yeah, attics are tough. So I don't think a lot of people know, unless they've had it done recently. They see the unit outside. They see all the stuff in the attic. I think most people think it's like a multi-day project. I know when I used to run service calls and people say, well, how long does it take to do an install? Does it take 3 days or something like that? How long does it take you guys just kind of on average to do a pretty traditional install?
Your average,
let's say the attic split. Yeah.
Full split. I mean, with a good crew out there, we can get done in about 4 hours. A lot of times though, we don't know what's going to happen until we start taking everything apart, what it looks like behind the unit, how much clearance we have. So, I mean, we can be out there for 8 to 12 hours.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of forums that I go on and I read, a lot of these companies, even outside of Vegas, they're taking 2 days, 3 days to install one system. Not to say that we skip any steps or anything like that, because we don't, but
I think we're doing more than most companies probably are when it comes to the different stuff we do.
We add a lot to the system, a lot of safety devices, but I think what it is just that our crew is pretty solid, well-rounded.
And I think it's been a focus. So I'm the internal operations manager now. I used to be the installation manager, and now Julio's doing that better than I did. He's doing a great job. But it's been a focus because if it takes 3 days to do an install, that's 3 days that the homeowner doesn't have air, right? Or doesn't have heat or whatever. So it's been a big focus to, like, someone's got an emergency going on. They don't have air conditioning. They don't have heat. Air conditioning really is a necessity in Las Vegas. So it's been a focus for you guys to get them that air as soon as they can. Right? And not just taking 3 days because it, that's an expectation. Like we want it done quick, right?
Especially because of the heat here in Vegas. I mean, in the summer, when it's 110 plus degrees, you can't necessarily leave a homeowner without air conditioning for, I mean, even overnight, because a lot of nights it's like 105. It's still 105, 110, and it's dark out, I've actually stayed out till like 2 a.m. before trying to get. It's hard to tell a homeowner, hey, sorry, but we need to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you won't have air.
Because they're so excited to get air conditioning and go to sleep in a cool house, or at least a house that's cooling down.
I mean, even when, stuff doesn't go according to plan, I mean, you kind of just got to feel for them,
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. And you guys do a great job. I think those struggles were a lot earlier on in sort of our development as a company. It seems like now you guys are pretty dialed in for the most part. There's some problem houses, but for the most part, because really every house is different also. I know every install you do, unless it's on the roof, is probably a little bit different. Yeah, you guys do a good job now of getting it done, getting people air conditioning and back up and running. So you're talking a little bit about some of the unique parts of different houses, different things when you're pulling a system apart. I know sometimes you guys run into some crazy stuff. So I think it was maybe 2.5 years ago, something like that. I got a video sent to me, or maybe it was sent to the entire company chat, of something you found underneath a condenser. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. The spider, right?
Yeah, okay. Spider.
So I was doing a condenser install, which your condenser is your outdoor unit. Under that, there's a condenser pad. So the unit sits on a pad. If it floods or anything like that, the unit's going to be raised a little bit off the ground, which we're replacing. So we lifted that up, and I saw this pretty decent sized hole. Maybe, I don't know, how could I say, like 2 quarters or 4 quarters.
Okay.
About the size of 4 quarters. And I thought I saw something move in there, so I grabbed a stick. I grabbed the guy from the attic. I told him to come down and take a look. And so I'm poking around, and I just see this like this weird little leg moving. So I'm like, what the heck? And I end up kind of getting it behind whatever it is and pulling it out, and out comes this tarantula. So I'm just staring at it. I'm kind of freaking out because this is, I think, the part, other than inside a pet store, I've never really seen a tarantula, especially like in someone's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally built up the courage to grab that thing. I'm like, I don't think they're poisonous.
Just roll the dice.
Or not poisonous, but venomous.
Sure.
But I'm just like, I see people doing it on TV all the time, with Bear Grylls or Coyote Peterson or whatever his name is. So I pick it up, put it in my hand. I was just taking a bunch of videos. I ended up taking it home. And then my wife was like freaking out. She told me to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think, to be completely honest, I brought it to the shop the next day and I released it somewhere out front.
Oh, so I didn't know that.
Nobody does, man.
It's still somewhere.
Just somewhere, hopefully.
This video, man, it was crawling up his arm. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that this was happening. But
I'm surprised.
Apparently, I looked it up. You're right. They're not venomous.
I don't think any tarantulas are. I'm not a tarantula expert, but
you're closer than most people.
I guess so, right?
Yeah. So let's see. If you weren't doing installs, or if you weren't in the industry, what do you think you'd be doing? Like for a career, for whatever.
So prior to this, getting into this trade, or trades, because we do both. I was working as an auto mechanic, but I did leave the trade for a reason. Money, money-wise, it wasn't really that great. You always have a job for sure. You'll never be rich off of it.
Sure.
Do too great unless you work for one of those super big companies like Lamborghini or like.
Well, sure, yeah. I guess
even like Toyota or Ford. If you specialize in that, I'm sure they make pretty good money. But it would, I never really thought about it, but it would definitely. I would like to get into like real estate or something like that. Something cool. If it was just like, another 9-to-5 job.
What about just like your dream job?
Well, my dream job would be under the assumption that I already have some kind of investment plan in place.
Sure.
And I have money outside that. But
sure.
I don't know. Those, you ever see those guys in the boats at Lake Mead?
No.
And they're just driving around checking, what are they called?
The kind.
Not. Oh, yeah. Park rangers. Yep, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Perfect.
No, I don't know if they're called park rangers, but they basically drive around, make sure everything's good, and with the wildlife and everything.
Oh, okay.
And they check, if you have your fishing license and stuff like that.
So just like
honestly, I just want to drive a boat.
Want to drive a boat all day.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's cool. Right on. All right, so I think that's it. Brendan, do you have anything else you wanted to add? Anything else you want to tell the people?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good one. I like that one. So before we go, the name of the podcast?
Yeah.
You don't? That's okay. It's fine. It's your first time here. It's called Airing It Out. Airing It Out. So the name Airing It Out, first, it's obvious, like air conditioning, right? We do air conditioning, so airing it out. But second, airing it out, it's a plumbing joke, like a bathroom joke. So you use the toilet, then you got to air it out. So it's a question we ask everybody. What's your go-to method for airing it out? So are you a candle guy? You open the window? Do you turn on the fart fan? Do you just let it simmer? What's your move?
I just let it simmer. It's the next guy's problem, honestly.
Just let it. Okay. I don't know if I even respect it, but I'll
gotta respect it, man.
I respect the confidence. You just don't care. You know what I mean? It's not my problem anymore.
It's not that I don't care. It's more that, yeah, you're right.
You just don't care. That's fair. You know what? Not everyone needs to air it out. But thanks for joining us here on Air It Out. It's been Brendan. We appreciate you guys tuning in today, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.